What's up guys? So in my April favorites video, I mentioned that I got laser eye surgery this past month and I love it so much so far. So I know a lot of you guys are curious about LASIK, so I wanted to make this full video dedicated to my experience getting LASIK before, during, and after the procedure. So let's start with, what is LASIK? What does laser eye surgery even mean? So this is your eyeball. There is a layer called the cornea on top of your eyeball, and how it works is in LASIK they cut that top cornea, they cut it open and it flips open, and then a laser shoots into your eyeball to change the shape depending on whether you're nearsighted or farsighted and what degree your vision is. Yeah, they will adjust it accordingly to give you 20/20 vision. I'm not going to go into too much detail on how it works because you guys can totally do that research on your own. I just wanted to cover some common misconceptions about LASIK. So something that I didn't actually know until I went to my consultation and read those pamphlets was you cannot go blind from LASIK. I think that's a fear that a lot of people have. They think that if something goes wrong, like they're gonna go blind, and they're scared that that's gonna happen. So in the US, no patient getting LASIK surgery has ever gone blind, and that's because LASIK, they only operate on the top part of your eye, so they don't touch like the nerves or whatever's on the inside, which is how you could possibly go blind, I think. And another misconception is that LASIK is more dangerous than wearing contact lenses. There's actually an article that I'll link below about how contact lenses could be statistically more dangerous than getting LASIK, and that's because when you wear contact lenses every day, there's more probability that you're gonna get an eye infection. And me, I've been a contact lens wearer since junior high school till now. How many years is that? Like 10 or more years wearing contacts, and I've got like 2 or 3 eye infections, especially during high school where I got super lazy. I would sleep and take naps in contacts and wake up with infections. It was bad. So on that note, let's talk about my thoughts before getting LASIK, and I'll just give you a quick history of my eyes. So I started wearing glasses in 4th grade, and I think in 7th grade I started wearing contacts. In junior high and high school, I wore soft contacts. I think I mainly used AccuView contacts, the ones where you wear it for 2 weeks and then switch to new ones. And in high school, that caused me more problems because my eyes started getting really dry wearing those contacts. And like I said, I would be really irresponsible with sleeping in contacts and get eye infections. So my eye doctor changed my contacts to daily contacts. So those are pretty pricey because daily contacts, you just wear a day, you throw it away. It cost me almost $600 a year for those contacts. And ever since I was like a senior in high school, around that time, I knew that I wanted to get laser eye surgery at some point in my life. I just knew that when I was older, like 20 something in the future, that I wanted to get LASIK. So it's always been on the back of my mind. The question was like, when was a good time? And they always say that you should wait until your vision plateaus and stops getting worse and worse. So if your vision has been the same consistently for many years, then it's okay to get LASIK. So since I started college, which was like 2009-ish, I had the same prescription, which was 4.5 on this eye and 4.25 on this eye. So aside from not wanting to rely on contacts and glasses the rest of my life, another big reason for getting LASIK is that it's more cost effective in the long term. So like I said, my contacts were like almost $600 a year, and hopefully if I live until I'm an older age, that's gonna be like 40, 50, 60 years that I'll be paying $600 a year if I continue to rely on contacts and glasses. So if you can afford LASIK, then it's actually an investment that will save you money in the long term. And if you're wondering what the price of LASIK is, it really varies and depends on where you go and what doctor you go to, but I'll post a link below that has an article about like the average LASIK prices. All right, let's jump into the process of getting LASIK. So the first step is you go for a consultation, and I signed up for my consultation when I noticed that I was running out of my contacts, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna order new contacts, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna get laser eye surgery. So at the consultation, they basically check your eyes. They do a lot of those eye exams with the machines. I don't know what they're really doing, but they're just checking to see if your eyes are suitable for LASIK, depending on like how well your eye takes pressure, how thick your cornea is. I found out that I have a thick cornea, which is good for LASIK because you have a thicker flap for them to cut open and it's just easier to heal. One thing they also do during that consultation is that they dilate your eyes so that they can open up your eyes and see what's inside. So they give you this eye drop that dilates your eyes and they take you to a dark room where the guy shines a light into your eye, which to me, my eyes are so sensitive to light, so it was kind of hard. But after the procedure, like your eyes stay dilated for I think a couple hours. You can drive home on your own. It will just be a little bit blurry. So I drove home a little bit blurry, but it wasn't too bad. And they give you these eye shades so you can protect your eyes from the sunlight if it's sunny outside, but that's about it. After all your eye exams, then you meet with the patient manager who will talk to you about the procedure. She'll go over everything, answer all your questions, and then also go over the payment. So what I really liked about the place that I went to is that they offered a payment plan so that you don't have to pay everything at once. You could split up your payment over the course of the next 2 years. So that's what I'm currently doing right now. I'm paying like $100 and something a month for my LASIK for the next 2 years, which to me is pretty affordable for that kind of procedure. So at the end of my consultation, we set an appointment for my laser eye surgery date. So I did this because I had Coachella coming up and I told the lady that I wanted to go to Coachella and I knew that I wanted to wear eye makeup at Coachella and be fully functioning. So she was like, okay, then we need to give you 2 weeks to fully heal before you go to that kind of event and wear eye makeup. So she booked me like an appointment the week after my consultation. So I didn't have that much time to prepare, but I'm really happy that they could accommodate my schedule because that was really nice of them. If you wear soft contacts, you have to take out your contacts 3 days before your surgery. So I took out my contacts on Tuesday and I had my surgery on Friday. If you wear hard contacts, then I think you have to take out your contacts earlier, so maybe 2 weeks earlier. And the reason for that is because contacts can affect the shape of your eye and they want you to take out the contacts so that your eye can go back to its normal shape, and then they could like measure your eye the morning of the procedure to get a more accurate result. Another thing is they gave me 2 eye drops to start dropping in my eye 3 days before the surgery. So one eye drop was just tears. So tears are just to keep your eyes moist and wet. And the other eye drop was antibiotics. So I think that's just for preventing infections from happening. They also tell you to shower and wash your hair before the procedure because after you get the procedure, you can't really get your eyes wet for, I think, 24 hours. After a few days of preparation, you are ready for laser eye surgery. So let's talk about the procedure. So my appointment was at 3 p.m. and they told me to reserve 3 hours for the procedure. I actually got out an hour earlier, so I think I got out around 5 p.m. So once you get there, the person at the front desk gave me a Tylenol, so I took that Tylenol and then I waited a while. When they called me in, they did all of those same eye exams that they did at the consultation. But what's interesting is that my eyesight actually changed after not wearing contacts for 3 days. So like I said before, my vision was like 4.5-ish and it went up to like a 5, I think. So my eyes are pretty bad. By the way, you have to make sure that you arrange for somebody to drive you home after your procedure because you need someone to drive you home. You can't do it yourself. You can barely open your eyes. Don't do it. So after all the eye exams, I waited a little bit and then I got taken to the pre-surgery nurse area where the nurse gave me a packet on all the things that I would need after my surgery. So let me just show you what was in that packet. It's really simple. So they already gave me these tear eye drops and antibiotic eye drops before the surgery, but in the packet were just more tear eye drops, which I really love these things. They're really great. And then they give you these eye shells. So these are just plastic shells that you wear over your eyes when you sleep, and they give you like a roll of tape, so you just like tape it on your face. After the procedure, they tape this on my eyes and put this like sunglasses thing over it so that my eyes are protected. The reason is when you're sleeping, you don't notice if you're like rubbing your eye or not. This just protects your eye from getting touched when you're sleeping. And I actually really grew to like these. I call them my eggshells. I just thought they were so cute. My boyfriend thought I looked so stupid with them. Anyway, eye shells. So after they gave me the packet, they gave me this like head wrap to wear to cover my hair. So you put your hair up, and after that they take you to see the doctor, the actual doctor who will be performing your surgery. So you get to sit down with the doctor right before your surgery, ask him any last questions that you have, and get all of those fears and anxiety out, and then they take you to the actual surgery room. When I got into the room, there was a nurse who gave me these 2 stress balls that I could squeeze if I got nervous during my surgery, and the nurse like drops these anesthetic eye drops into your eyes, and in a couple minutes you'll feel that your eyes feel like numb and heavy. And then they lay you down on a chair where there's a machine on top of you, and the doctor comes in and they talk to you during the whole time. They're really friendly. So let's see, what do so I'm just gonna tell it like I remember it. So first, going into surgery, I was not scared. I was never afraid of the pain because I heard that it doesn't hurt, you just feel the pressure. And I had read all the pamphlets and I knew like logically what they were gonna do to my eye. I knew that they were gonna cut it open, flap it open, shoot some lasers in it. I was fine with that. Things changed the moment when I was like laying there and the doctor was talking to me. I'm like, cool, 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 let's do this. And then the doctor takes this like plastic thing and like holds your eye open, holds this eye open, like he like, and that was kind of disturbing because I didn't expect for that to happen. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna do surgery on your eye, you wanna hold them open, but just the pressure of having that plastic thing hold my eyelids open was interesting. That was when I was like, oh my god, it's real. It's getting real. And I mean, nothing in the surgery hurt. Nothing caused me pain. The thing is, you can still feel the pressure on that area. If something's shooting your eye or he's touching your eye, you feel the pressure. You know what's going on because your eyes are open the whole time. So he holds my eyelids back, and then I just remember the doctor like painting things on my eye, like dropping things and painting things on my eye, which is a new sensation because you didn't know that someone could have like a paintbrush and paint some things on your eye. That's just a new feeling that I've never felt before. And there is a machine on top of you where there is a red light, and the doctor continuously says, look at the red light, look at the red light, look at the red light. And then what happens next is probably the most difficult, the most like part of the surgery. Basically, I remember the nurse talking to me. She's like, all right, I'm gonna hold your hand. Everything's gonna go black for a second, just for a moment, and then you'll be able to see again. Don't be scared, it's just gonna be a quick second. And I'm like, okay, okay. So they're like, all right, 3, 2, 1. So they counted down, and I heard this machine go on my eye, and everything went black. It was as if I went blind for a second. It went black and then it opened up again. And that was when I noticed that they cut open my eye. They cut open that flap. I knew it. And so that was like this machine. The doctor takes, I don't know if he takes off the machine, but basically after that, he tells you to look at the laser red light, and that's all you have to do. You just sit there and you focus on the red light. To be honest, there were times where like my eyes felt like everything got blurry and out of focus, and I couldn't even see the red light anymore. He's like, focus on the red light, and I'm like, where is it? So there were those times where I wasn't even sure what my eye was doing. It feels like an out-of-world experience. It feels like a weird kind of dream. But once that eye is done, then they move on to your next eye. So they did my left eye next, and trust me, the second eye goes by much faster. It's a fast process anyway, but because you know what they're gonna do, you know what's happening, you're like, okay, it's this again. Everything went black. Okay, yeah, I know what's gonna happen. Look at the red light, I know. So that happened. And the thing that was different about my left eye was when the lasers were shooting my eye, I felt the pressure and I smelled the burning of my eye. It doesn't gross me out, but I just think that's interesting because that's my eye. It's weird, it's weird. It's definitely an experience that I never had. It's an interesting ride. After the procedure, which was like 10 minutes because it's 5 minutes per eye, I don't remember. I think they I sat up, they put the eye shells on me. This was when I'm just kind of like, everything is blurry and I don't want to open my eyes. So they told me to just keep my eyes closed and rest and just wait for my ride to come. And they reminded me that in my packet were my sleeping pills, 2 sleeping pills, one to take right after I did the procedure and one like later on in the night if I woke up. So my boyfriend came, the nurse escorted me out, and I think my eyes were closed the whole time, so people were just escorting me into the car. And it was funny because my boyfriend brought me ice cream because just as a celebration, and I wanted to eat the ice cream. I was trying to eat the ice cream, but I was like trying to open my eyes to see the ice cream and it was really hard. But anyway, I took the first sleeping pill in the car and I pretty much knocked out by the time we got home. And then I ended up on the bed, sleeping. I think it was like 6 p.m. and then I slept till 9 p.m. That's it. I don't know why. I woke up, and once I woke up, I took the second sleeping pill so that I could continue sleeping. So I think when I woke up, that was when the anesthetic started to wear off. And so I noticed my eyes were just uncomfortable, a little bit itchy, but obviously you're not supposed to touch it. So it was definitely a little bit uncomfortable, but I just took the next sleeping pill, knocked out until like 5 a.m. So I slept through it. When I woke up at 5 a.m., I took off those sunshades and I was still wearing those eye shells that were taped to my face. And when I opened the eye shells, it was like I could see through them. I was surprised that I could see. And what really wowed me was when I took off the eye shells, like I could see the time on the clock at night. And I wasn't wearing contacts, so I was like, whoa, I could totally see everything. Everything's clear. This is weird. So a few rules that you have to follow after the procedure are: the day of the procedure, don't shower, don't wash your face. You don't want to get water in your eye because it's like a fresh wound. And you cannot wear eye makeup for 2 weeks. You have to wear these eye shells to sleep for 2 weeks. And what else? And you have to drop those eye drops as much as they tell you to. So I did the antibiotic eye drops every 4 hours and the tears every hour. And the morning after my procedure, I went back for a checkup because they like to check you the day after you get your surgery. So I went in at 8 a.m. that Saturday morning and I just basically did the typical eye exams. And they tested my eyes and my eyes were 20/20 for the first time in my life. Crazy. And everything seemed to be normal, so I was really happy with that. So they let me go and I went back to sleep, I think, and I just had a really relaxing day. I think it was, you could probably do normal daily activities like the day after you get your surgery. You just have to be careful with touching your eyes. Don't do anything that involves like, you know, activity around the eyes, basically. One thing that I did notice was the first night that I experienced with my new eyes, that Saturday night, I was overwhelmed with how clear the things were. I think I got dizzy because everything was too clear. And if you guys have gotten new glasses, it's kind of that feeling where like the new prescription is so strong, you're like, whoa. So I would have to close my eyes many times during the first day just because I didn't want to get dizzy. And another side effect of getting LASIK is that at night you will see like extra big halos around lights. So it wasn't a big difference for me. I didn't notice like it affected my vision, but it affects some people more than others. And they told me that that halo effect will fade after like 2 months. And even now, a month after my procedure, I'm not bothered with those halos. Like I don't even notice it. It doesn't bother me. I guess it's not that bad for me. So definitely the second day after surgery, things were a lot better because my eyes were adjusted to the new vision, and I think I lived a pretty normal life for that first week. And the only thing was, it was really hard to not wear eye makeup because I had to film a video, and one day I actually broke the rule and I wore eye makeup for a video, but I wore very light eye makeup and I was super gentle with like washing it. And I'm okay, so. So the following week after my surgery, I went back for the weekly checkup, and that checkup, they check your eyes, do the same thing. They just want to make sure that everything is stable. And what I was really happy to hear was that my cornea had healed perfectly smooth, because there is a possibility if you mess it up that the cornea will heal like wrinkled. So I didn't want wrinkles in my eye. I'm happy that I don't have wrinkles in my eye. Everything is good. Now, a month later after my procedure, I literally feel like my eyes are normal. Nothing is wrong, no dryness. I see things clearly, and at night I see things pretty clearly too. I noticed that my vision is better in the day versus at nighttime, but it could be that halo effect that will improve over time. But it's not a big deal, and I still drop those teardrops maybe once a day. You could do it more or less depending on how dry your eyes get, but like I said, my eyes don't feel that dry. They feel pretty good. Alright, so if you guys watched this far, then that means you are really interested in getting LASIK, because I think I gave a lot of information. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. But anyway, if you guys are curious, the place that I did my LASIK eye surgery is called IQ Laser Vision. I went to the one in City of Industry, but they have several locations all over California, and I really loved my experience. Honestly, they were super professional, super friendly. They really walked me through every step of the process, and I felt really taken care of. I had heard of IQ Laser Vision before through my mom, through friends, and so I was really familiar with their name, and if you check them out on Yelp, they have amazing reviews. So for me, I definitely wanted to go to a place that was reputable, a place that I could trust. What's really great about IQ Laser Vision, and by the way, they're not paying me to talk about them at all, they're not paying me to make this video, but what's so great about them is they gave a lifetime guarantee, which really kind of makes you feel comfortable, because essentially they're saying that if your eyes do get worse anytime in your life, then you can go back and they'll do the enhancement surgery for free. So that was something that I really loved, because for me, I was always worried, like, what if in 10 years my eyes change and things happen? So that really makes you feel comfortable with going with them. So if you guys are in the Southern California area, then I highly recommend you consider them if you want to get laser eye surgery, because they are professional. And like I said, I told that lady I wanted to go to Coachella, so she was like, okay, let's go around your schedule and I'll book you in time for Coachella. So that was like super nice, and literally they're the best people. They, like, the week after, they remembered me, they remembered my name, we took a picture, I think my photo's on the wall. It's a fun place. So if you guys are interested, I'll post their links and all their information below so you can check them out. They also gave me like a stack of referral cards that I can give to my friends for $500 off. So if you're serious, you could go to them, mention my name, Aileen Xu, with the code, and get $500 off. So I actually emailed them before I was planning to shoot this video, and they told me that they'll give you guys $1,000 off if you go in the month of May and mention my name, Aileen Xu, and my code. Everything will be in the description below. Okay, so I think we talked enough about LASIK for the day. I gave out a lot of information. If you have any more questions for me, then feel free to leave a comment and I'll try my best to answer them. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!